the Congress of the United States begun and held at the city of New York, New York on Wednesday, the 4th of March, 1789. The conventions of a number of states, having at the time of their adopting the Constitution expressed a desire in order to prevent misconstruction and abuse of its powers. They resolved by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the United States of America. In Congress, they assembled, and 2/3 of both houses concurred that the following articles will be proposed to the legislatures of several states. In addition to the amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America proposed by Congress and was ratified by the legislatures of several states. The following text is a transcription of the first 10 amendments. We will be covering Amendment 2 and Amendment 4. These amendments were ratified December 15, 1791, and form what is known as the Bill of Rights. Amendment 2, a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Amendment 4, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons to be seized. As you hear from our Amendments 2 and 4 out of our massive book of amendments, we have the right as human beings, as American citizens, to bear arms legally and lawfully.
I couldn't have said that better myself. Many thanks to David Sanders for narrating that part where he paraphrased the constitutional amendments of 2 and 4. Look for him on YouTube. He has his own channel. It's called Let's Go Outdoors, and it's a really good show about state campgrounds. But anyway, on to the meat and potatoes of it. Now that's the constitutional laws. Now, let me read out to you what the actual, state laws and area laws are that deal with this issue. Now, this is pretty much the gun control law. It's also called the sand law or no duty to retreat law. This gives people the right to use deadly force when they reasonably believe it is necessary to defend against deadly force, great bodily harm, kidnapping, rape, or in some areas, robbery, or other serious crimes. Now, in the latter case, it is referred to basically as the right of self-defense. That's pretty much how I'm going to refer to it. This law is legal if the person that's being attacked is in the place lawfully, okay? It cannot be invoked if the person is the aggressor or doing something illegal. Bear that in mind, okay? It's great to defend yourself if you need to, but make sure you're supposed to be there and make sure you're not the one who caused the problem, because then you won't have any problems with it. Now, there's an alternative law that some states and some areas use. Now, this one is the duty to retreat. Now, this is also applied to this situation. It means that you must get away if it is safe to do so, and that is if you are illegally attacked or if you can do it safely. Now, the difference between the two is some states, want you to just retreat where possible. Sometimes it just ain't possible. But these are the states that have that as their law. Now, whether it's the stand your ground law or the duty to retreat law, they both bear one thing in common. They do not apply if someone attacks you in your home. It is called, that part is called the Castle Doctrine, which states that you have no duty to retreat if you are attacked in your home, your vehicle, or your place of work. Now, all of this jargon that I'm talking about basically is you have the right to defend yourself. Now, I am licensed to carry, and I'm proud of it. It's one of our unalienable rights, the right to bear arms. This is something that there's been, I like getting these hot button topics. And this is the situation where we have it the same way as it's been before. You have people trying to regulate our use of guns, how we should use them, when we should use them, if we should even have them at all. And I don't believe that's right. I mean, let's face it, the world is a whole lot different than it used to be, And if you can't defend yourself, then you're basically like cattle to the slaughter. So I just think about it that way, because this is just something we have to pay attention to, like everything else in the world. Now, I kind of draw a line as far as automatic weapons go. Now, I know this is kind of something that people talk about as well, but I think automatic weapons is pretty much overkill. That's just my opinion about it. Some people don't agree with me. If you don't agree with me, tell me in the comments why you think that's the case. Why, automatic weapons are good. I mean, because that's a little bit above what I would consider defending yourself. That's overkill. But that's what my soapbox pretty much is for today. It's about gun control and our rights to bear arms. This is an unalienable right that we fought and bled for, went to war for. And people like me and the NRA who try to defend gun owners, lawful gun owners, and I said lawful gun owners, because there's a lot of illegal guns out there. Now, the thing about that you guys got to think is just a statement. This is a straight statement. It is not the gun that kills people. It's the person behind the gun, which is why I'm glad that the states and federal government have things in place, where they do a background check, make sure that you can carry it, that you're competent enough, that you're not a little crazy to carry a gun. But it's still something that we should fight dearly for, because this is something that, well, one of the things that makes our country great. Now, with that being said, I hope you like what you heard. If you have any questions or comments, let me know about it. What do you think about the gun control laws? What do you think about automatic weapons? What do you think about taking guns away from people? Tell me in the comments what you think about that, and I'll see you in the next section. Okay, welcome to the questions and answers section of the show. I have a question for you guys today that's kind of interesting. Curious to see what you guys think of what I talked about. What do you think about the gun control? What do you think about automatic weapons? What do you think about our right to bear arms? Do you think that people are just a little bit paranoid about people who have guns? Do you think that the gun laws are strong enough? Do you think the background checks are thorough enough? I'd like to see what you guys think about that. Just let me know in the comments how you feel about this, because this would be an interesting discussion, because I think there's a lot of different views on either side of this issue. I'm just curious. I really want to see what you guys want to say about that. But for today, that's it. So I'm just going to sign off to my next section, and then we're going to finish up the show for today. Thanks a lot. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final word of the show. Now I'm going to summarize what we talked about today. So today's whole show was about gun control. I hope you got some interesting opinions and some interesting facts about it. To summarize everything, we talked about the stand your ground law. We also talked about your duty to retreat law. And we also talked about how all of that ties into the castle doctrine about defending yourself if someone invades you in your house. We also talked about the legal and illegal ramifications of this. Now, this has been in the Constitution for over 200 years. We have fought and died to protect this law and this amendment, among other things that we have in our Constitution. And it's among the many things that makes our country a great country. And that's another reason people like to come to our country, because we have freedoms that they don't find anywhere else. Like London, for example, is extremely strict on gun control. They've already done what the United States is trying to do in some areas. We have the NRA to help protect us, and but even they can't do everything. The government, especially the ones that are scared about guns, are doing everything they can to restrict or eliminate our rights to carry guns. That shouldn't stand. It's one of the key functions, the key features that makes our country great. With that being said, just want to let you guys know that this is something that I feel very strongly about, and I don't believe I'm the only one who feels strongly about it. Now, next week's show, okay, we're actually gonna talk about police defunding and what it means to you. I have a feeling this is going to be a real interesting subject because for the last 6 months to a year, it seems a lot of people have been talking about defunding the police. Just, the ramifications, we'll have to see what goes on. And what I will attempt to do next week is I will attempt to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in reference to defunding the police. Now, with that, I'm going to sign off for today. I want you guys to be safe, be careful, and be open-minded, and I will see you in my next show. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.